things ain't what they used to be.
Hello, this is Bleep Bleep, Bloop Bloop.
I discovered early on, if you wanted a thing, you went for it, and you got it. And most people don't ever go anywhere or want anything, so they never get anything.
Hello, it's episode number 7 of Bleep Bleep, Bloop Bloop. Thank you for listening, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and give it a like, a thumbs up, a handshake, whatever you got to do. And so where are we today? So in the beginning of this video, you see me, I'm removing bits of scrap wood. They'll be back later. I think in the peach, the not free half. So this may be the last time you see them, but they'll pop up again. Don't worry. To be used stupidly, but if you saw the wood bits, they had the wood pieces there. A lot of them had those beautiful little round hole with a deeper hole in the center. That's from the brad point drill bits that are for wood, where they have like the center point, not a cork. It's not an auger. It's not like a screw threaded bit. It's like a point. And then on the ends of the flutes, there's one point either side also. So they make these beautiful holes. Whereas if, like a metal drill bit, they don't have that. So you have to use a center punch or something first to make a depression for the drill point to sit inside. Otherwise, the drill bit will wander everywhere. All right. So now I'm using a cat hair roller piece to clean all the sawdust or splinters and stuff off of the silicone sheet. So I got silicone sheet over like a vinyl thing. All right, so this is kind of it's a funny episode. If you ever watch, have you ever seen them? I think in Big Bang Theory, they have there's an episode where I think Sheldon is the one, the tall, skinny guy who turned out to be a fruity fruit that in real life, I think. Anyway, he says that, I think it's Raiders of the Lost Ark, he says the whole Indiana Jones role in the movie, in this plot, is pointless, and that things would have turned out the same if he had never done anything. And then, of course, that's not true. But this, or maybe Treasure of the Sierra Madre, where the three guys, Pan is an old 1948 movie by John Huston. It stars his father, Walter Huston, as the canny old prospector type who survives fine and has a good life in the end. Humphrey Bogart gets killed. But anyway, so there's 3 prospectors, and they go to Mexico in post-revolutionary era, 1920s, dangerous time, and they're panning for gold in this remote area, and they get the gold dust. They got bags of the gold dust, and Humphrey Bogart, it's a spoiler, okay? So it won't ruin the movie. You can still watch Treasure of the Sierra Madre and enjoy the heck out of it. But he goes there, he basically takes all the gold, tries to make off with it. And he gets caught by some bandits that they'd encountered earlier in the film. And he gets killed. And the bandits, they open the bags of gold dust that Humphrey Bogart's character has been trying to get away with, get back to the United States with, I think. And they think it's sand. And they dump it out on the ground. They just steal like the donkeys and the other equipment, but they leave the gold, and then the gold, the film shows the wind blowing the gold dust, scattering it here and there, and that's lost. All right. So this video is a little bit like that, in that I'm trying to do something, and in the end, this is a spoiler for this episode. I don't get to a real firm conclusion. I don't accomplish anything. I accomplish something. I acquire life experience, but not really accomplish anything meaningful. So right now in the video you see me, I'm using my daily driver cheapo beater, like a beater car. These are my beater digital calipers. They're the same button placement and everything like that. If you go on people say Taobao, but here they call it Tobo. Taobao, the website, or you go on AliExpress or something. They're the ones in every. Okay. So these are, jumping around. These are cardboard washers. Now that's the platonic ideal of a metal flat washer. It's perfectly flat everywhere, and it's the same thickness throughout. Now I'm going to pick up a more realistic. It's exaggerated, but it's realistic. See that the inner and outer edges of the washer are kind of pressed in, and they protrude a bit. That's because flat washers are made through a stamping process. It's a double stamp. there's a stamp. Basically, they punch the outer first, so you have a circle, and then there's an inner punch that comes through and punches out another die. It punches out the center hole, and those typically it's not a perfect, it's not space age stuff. It leaves it presses the material out, okay, outwards, and now then you see a wallowed out, a little bit of a rounded out, a little depressed, a little bit bowed out washer. That's like, for example, say you are using a washer to bridge a hole that's bigger than the head of the fastener, and you tighten the fastener, the washer may curve inwards, something like that, and it may stay that way. All right, now I'm getting out a feeler gauge. It's a Mitutoyo stainless steel feeler gauge, and it's still oily. And actually, I should re-oil it. Every time I washed my hands before I touched it because I didn't want to leave a lot of oil of my own and skin acid or whatever, or salt. Okay, so I'm checking the 1 millimeter thick feeler gauge. So it's about right. My daily driver caliper, not perfect, but it's at 0.99, okay? And now I'm going to check, I think I checked 0.8. Next, they put the 1 millimeters on the outside to protect the others, and then there's like one of the thinnest, floppiest ones. Yeah, 0.05, super floppy. Okay, now I'm going to check 0.80, okay? And my caliper says 0.76, 0.82, something like that. It's because how much you're going to squeeze it. There's probably dirt on the faces, the flat faces of the caliper blades. Anyway, so now I got a little bit better one. A Mitutoyo digital caliper that I don't use all the time. I don't beat it up, so I'm going to check, see what I get. Okay, on the 1, it gives me 0.99. It's good. On the 0.8 mm, it gives me, what does it give me? 0.79. Good. Nothing's perfect. That's good. That's realistic, okay? But so see some of these washers, they have writing on it. I measured the inner and outer diameter, and I measured the thickness. And I found that some of them were thicker than others by a lot. The thing is, there's always going to be variation. And remember I showed you the cardboard washer? The reason I spliced that footage in there was to mentally prepare you for the fact that when you're measuring, like the calipers, it's a long, thin blade edge, rather. I don't know what they call it, the measuring edge, the flat face on the inside of the calipers. Okay, this now is the digital micrometer. I think some of you, because I've set it up on purpose, I showed you the cardboard washer demo to give you the idea of what I'm talking about. You can see the problem here. So the measuring face of these, they call it, what is it? Parts of a digital caliper. I got my memory not perfect on that. Okay, so it's the spindle and the anvil. So the fixed on the left side, the fixed part, a little shorter part, measuring face, that's called the anvil. On the right, the one you can move when you twirl the knob, that's the spindle. So the diameter of the spindle and anvil, if I remember right, is like 7 something mm. Okay, now I'm checking the feeler gauge again, the sanity check, like 0.999. Okay, it says that's pretty good. But by the way, I know ahead of time, I've watched this already. When I do the 0.8, I almost cursed. When I do the 0.8, I messed up. And I didn't have it in perfectly flat, so the number's not right. I went back and did it, and it was 0.799. It's fine. Yeah, 0.825, that's wrong. That's because I'm twisting the thing. I don't have it really tightened. Ignore that measurement. Anyway, I'm jumping around. So the spindle and anvil on this digital micrometer, it's a no-brand one, but it's fine. It still works fine. The spindle and the anvil are like 7 mm across, okay? So the washer, the part of the washer that's metal, not the inner hole and not the I'm talking about the donut, the flat donut part of the washer, that's only like 5 something mm across. So you can see the problem. Remember the cardboard model? I showed you the cardboard model where it's because of the stamping process, there's some protrusion, the lips stick out, and they're both sticking out the same side. So when you I may put a drawing up, I don't know if I can get into it, to bother to do it. That cars already did. I was like, anyway, it basically bridges either one or both. It's impossible to avoid having the measurement make contact with either one or both of those lips. So that's why the measurements are not going to be great with this type of micrometer. What I need and what exists, I need a point micrometer. I have a big bin of metrology stuff here. I've never used any of it. All this stuff got batteries the first time. So I don't have a point micrometer. I might get one. I might not. Now I'm showing you in my little hardware stash right near my workbench. I'm showing you that I have three containers of M6 washers, flat washers. I have a lot of washers, M6 washers, different shapes and things like that. Anti-slip and stuff like that. Okay, so the ones in this thin tube, it's a centrifuge tube with a blue cap. They're like the closest to random. Some of these I know I've replaced. I've been using washers, just stuck them back. M6 washer, just toss it in there. Okay. The other two containers, I have not been returning washers after use. They're like pristine. All right. So wait a minute. Maybe you're listening. You're like, what the heck? What about the washers he dumped out in the beginning? Those washers, they're the leftover sorted M6 washers that all look pretty much alike to me when I eyeballed them from the previous videos where I'm sorting used hardware. I'm sorting used hardware that I had in like a big bucket and bins and bags. So I don't know exactly where it came from. I can't say which of these containers. The red top with the two types of thin M6 washers, 0.8, 0.5 mm thick, or the clear cap one, or the blue centrifuge tube. Okay, this red cap container is just for, I'm going to use it to hold things as I'm doing them. Okay, so right now, remember, I'm not measuring the ones I'm trying to figure out where to put them. I'm just measuring the centrifuge tube washers first to see what they are. And turns out they're not all the same. The centrifuge tube washers have gotten mixed up over time. Because I guess maybe centrifuge tube is easier to carry around. So the centrifuge tube washers started out as one type of washer. Bought from one supplier in one go at one time. And they've gotten corrupted over the years of my using them. So I'm checking them with a digital micrometer. So you can't see it because I'm an idiot and the way I shoot things is not great. But there's a little knob and a big knob. You can only see the big knob. The little knob protrudes further out on the right, out of view, from the big knob. The little knob is the one you turn to close the anvil and spindle on whatever you're measuring the thickness of. The big knob that you can actually see, that you can hear it go click, 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 click. That's like a ratcheting knob. That's for you click it a few times, make sure you really got a good hold on whatever you're measuring to make sure the measurement should be not fluctuating when it should be whatever it is. So there's a whole separate thing, precision versus accuracy. Like if you look up precision versus accuracy, you can search it up on Google or DuckDuckGo or wherever. You'll see that they usually almost always use a bullseye, like a arrow shooting target practice analogy. So accuracy is when the arrows get close to the bullseye. They're maybe not tight on the bullseye, or they may be super tight. Precision is the grouping of the arrows. Okay, so if they're grouped super tightly, even if it's far off that bullseye, you say they are precise. If they are grouped tightly on the bullseye, perfect shots, then you say it's both both accurate and precise. The aim is both accurate and precise. Okay, if they're diffuse around the bullseye but closer-ish to the bullseye, you say it's accurate but not precise. You get it? So you can find the image yourself. I'm not going to recreate it. The top right corner, I have line drawings of there are three tools for metrology that I stupidly use because I'm not a metrologist. I'm not a machinist. I'm like a jack of all trades, sort of. So I drew those from scratch. I looked online. I was trying to see if I could cut a corner and buy like an icon pack or clip art pack that had all metrology tools. So far, no one's done no one's made a metrology tool clip art pack for the metrologists and the machinists to use. There are machinists ones, but they're missing some. Like they didn't have, if I remember right, they didn't have what do they call that? The dial test indicator. So I'm going to use the third one. It's in the page part. I'm using a dial test indicator. They didn't have, none of the clip art packs had that. So I was like, I got to draw one from scratch. I want them all to be the same style. I'll just draw them all. So I drew them all. So I drew a pair of digital calipers based on the ones the beater pair that I use. So it's it's different from if you look up, if you're like, wait a minute, you're lying. You didn't sit down and I didn't do it by hand. I did it on a computer. You're going to say, he didn't sit down there and draw these metrology tools himself. He just got a clip art pack or something. I dare you, look and see. The calipers, none of them are exactly the same. I really drew mine. And I drew my, the digital micrometer is pretty close to, it's because I drew it, the shape and everything like that. I'm not an artist, but it's close to what I'm using. And likewise, well, the dial test indicator is pretty more generic than these are. So what I've done is, this is, I'm talking over it, but this is the first run of the sorting process. I use a paste of dot matrix paper, dot grid, I guess, not dot matrix, like a dot matrix printer. It's like a off-white kind of creamy colored paper, big sheet with dots, regular space dots, okay? And then I drew little categories. Not great, but, you know, anyway, I drew categories. So I got 1.4 or 1.5, the thickest ones. And then I got 1.2, 1.3, 1.1x, meaning 1.11, 1.12, 1.13. But sometimes you'll see, if you're watching the video, you'll see it's like 1.195 or something. I put it in the 1.2 category, you know? And you see I've subdivided 1.2 and 1.3 into two different groups. I'm trying to see the grouping is my point. I'm trying to see, and I think I'm still just sorting the ones from the centrifuge tube. But now I'm going to sort more, or wait a minute, what do I check next? Okay, so here I got a piece of yellow painter's tape, masking tape. It's super easy to peel. Is it I can't remember the brand. Is it Gorilla Tape? I don't think it's Gorilla Tape. It's very nice. So I'm going to relabel. What are the centrifuge tube? I'm going to put the weird ones in there. The 1.4, 1.5 thick. I'm going to jam them in. Oh, crazy. So now I'm using calipers, but I still have the dial digital micrometer icon in the upper right. Forgive me, please. I hope you understand. Or maybe I'll go back and fix it. If you see at that moment you saw calipers in the upper right corner, then I fixed it. If you didn't, I was lazy. Sorry. I started talking about Treasure of Sierra Madre analogy here. That's a little bit how I feel. Or like you say, Ecclesiastes, the book of the Old Testament, or the Hebrew Bible, supposedly written by Solomon. Some people say written by Solomon. Some people say written by others. The one that they took the lyrics for the song "Turn, Turn, Turn" by the Byrds, Byrds, the old like hippie song. It's like, there's a time to be born and a time to die. It goes on like that, and you know. Turn, turn, turn. Anyway, that's a little bit like that. It's like Solomon or whoever the author is saying, I did this, I worked super hard. Oh, it was pointless. And then I was like, you know what? I should have some fun. I'm doing it out of order. I think the fun comes first. It's like, I should have some fun. I have a lot of carousing with a lot of girls and a lot of, wine or whatever. And then, it was pointless also. It's like, that's how it's a very weary feeling left after making this video and then rewatching it and admitting to myself, yes, ultimately this was stupid. To do what I wanted to do, I really needed a point micrometer. As I'm recording the audio for this right now, I'm seriously considering purchasing a point micrometer. It's not in the metrology tool bin. I got a lot of stuff in there. I got depth gauges. I got everything. I got packs of gauge pin sets for measuring and their different precisions. The one thing that wasn't here is a point micrometer. Everything's reasonably well organized. No point micrometer. Point micrometer cost me roughly about, in US dollars, about $200 for of course I'm going to get a Mitutoyo. I'm not going to get a crazy one. And I'm going to get one of the ones from 0 to, it's like the shortest range. And they have, the Mitutoyo ones, they have a choice between, so the point micrometer, the point itself, the tip, I think it's 15 degrees or 30 degrees. 15 degrees means like a more blunt tip. It's flatter. It's not flat, it's flatter. I want the 30. I don't know. Like the point is not to try to measure the depth of pits on a surface necessarily, but I don't want to, if I'm going to get a point micrometer, I want to get the pointiest point micrometer. But I haven't bought it yet. I may snap out of it, may pull out of the nosedive and be like, stop, forget about it. You know, it's off camera. You mean you may hear me mention it later. I may never mention it. I may just dump all those washers. I still have most of the washers sitting in the second sorting, because this, what you're seeing with the paper here, the flat paper, that's the first run, first pass at sorting. I may just dump them all. I don't know. I still haven't decided. Okay, I'm recording the audio a relatively short interval after recording the video, so I'm still of two minds about it. Is it worth a couple $100 to satisfy my curiosity? Normally, I would say yes. I'm a curiosity satisfying kind of person. I'm the cat. Something like, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. I'm that kind of a person. But I don't know. Okay, now I've moved the whole micrometer setup, the micrometer stand with the micrometer, so you can see the little dial and the big dial. Sometimes I don't even bother to ratchet. Okay, sometimes I ratchet, sometimes I don't. So this is the first pass of sorting. Ugh. The thing, so Treasure of Sierra, I think, is it The Treasure of the Sierra Madre? Yes, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, the movie I was talking about earlier. You should really watch it. Something interesting about it is the director is John Huston, Huston. He directed a lot of famous films. African Queen. He was in a film. You want to see him. He's in multiple films, but you can see him in Chinatown. I think, yes, you can see him in Chinatown with Jack Nicholson. That's a famous movie. You may have seen it. It's relatively easy to see. There's Criterion discs of it and stuff like that. He also did, he was mostly a director. His daughter's Angelica Houston, the actress, who was in like the original 1990s Addams Family. And she was in Royal Tenenbaums. She played the mom. So he's a good director. A lot of his stuff is harder to find. Like, for instance, he did Wise Blood, the story by Flannery O'Connor. He made that into a film. It's got Brad Dourif, the guy who played Peter de Vries in David Lynch's Dune. Hard to get a disc of that. I know because I just looked around. If you're in the United States, you got eBay, you got U.S. Amazon. So you got all the people selling, third-party sellers on Amazon who won't ship overseas and don't give Amazon their stuff. You have those people to choose from. And then you have eBay. You have all these other niche sites that are totally, in a practical sense, they are completely inaccessible to me, just in reality. Anyway, so maybe easy for you to get. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get Wise Blood and watch it anytime soon. So, yeah. See, the measurement continues. Yes. I'm speed measuring these. I'm almost done. You see the writing on some of those washers, the upper right, that's what started me on this whole process, seeing that things are not right. And I started writing. I wrote on them with a Sharpie. But it's just, it's some things are kind of frustrating, and I don't know. It's just you gotta get through it. So I think this is an interesting video because you get to see me. Remember, I'm not a machinist. I'm not a metrology guru. I'm just a normal person who has access to a bunch of metrology tools through luck. There's a big bin of them here, and I can figure out how to put them together. And I use them. I didn't know, and I saw what it was for. And so I looked up how to use the micrometer, and I saw pictures of micrometers and stands. I said, "Oh, that stand, that's for a micrometer." All right, now I'm gonna start testing some of the ones in this clear container. All right, I'm comparing it to one of the ones from the centrifuge tube. A couple from the centrifuge tube. It's funny to watch myself. I'm watching the video while I'm recording the audio, so I can give some commentary. It's like a director's commentary. Okay, I'm back to measuring from the, see, 0.979. They're all point something. But what I do is, you'll see that some of these are skinny. The ones from the centrifuge tube that are also right around 1 millimeter thick or under, but the outer diameter is not right. I checked with the micrometer, and I dumped them into the top of this clear cap container. I'm as soon as I stop recording this audio, I may go and using the calipers with a digital caliper, I may go and quickly test out the ones at the top, because I haven't had a call for those M6 washers since I recorded the video a couple days ago. I may go and just get rid of them. Yeah. I may take them back out anyway. At least take them back out until I get a point micrometer. If I get a point micrometer. If I buy it today, it'll take a few days to get to one place, and then a few more days to get to me after that. It'll take probably around a little bit less than a week. So it's like, do I want to have space taken up on a workbench with a bunch of washers, or do I could dump them all back into a container of unsorted, messed up washers? Okay, now see, I'm going to check these out. So, for example, these are supposed to be 0.8 mm thick. So check out, see what I'm talking about? And these are never used. 0.76. Huh. I look back, I show you, I look back at it maybe for my own benefit, but also for yours. Okay, and I check some more. These are all from that bag. It's supposed to be 0.8. 0.78. Huh. And remember, this is with the punching. So there is some lip effect. 0.82. That's a lot of variation. Then we got 0.804. So it's funny. On the other hand, of course, it's not doing setups for optical work here. It doesn't have to be, we don't need like nanometer precision, right? If you're using washers. But at the same time, they are labeled 0.8 thickness. So it means it's not 0.8 thick because of the lip effect. The original sheet metal that they're stamping these out of was a 0.7. To know, I need the point micrometer, right? Which I don't have yet. But it seems like the steel is maybe 0.75 or something, or 0.76. Did they pick a thinner sheet metal to stamp from, knowing that the lip effect, that there'd be a little bit of a protrusion around where the plungers on the stamps went through the metal? I don't know. Okay, now 0.5. We're going to check out some 0.5. What do you think? Under or over? 0.61. All right. Next one. 0.60. So it's 0.1 mm. It's 1/10 of a millimeter high. Same problem though. Remember, the diameter of the anvil and the spindle on the micrometer, they are bigger than the size of the annulus, the thin, flat donut here. So at best, I'm getting only one lip. I may be getting two lips. One lip would be better. If I thought about it, the thing is, at the time, it didn't occur to me to think, wait a minute, I really ought to try to ensure that I'm either measuring the outer edge or the inner edge of the washers, and that I'm not that my micrometer measuring surfaces are not spanning the annulus. I didn't think that clearly. Okay, they're clean. There's a little smudge. I cleaned the smudges off the screen with a little bit of ethanol. And in a second, this half is short this time. It's about half an hour. We're coming up to the end of the free half. And you haven't seen the dial test indicator yet. That comes up in the next half. And that's going to be really funny. Especially anybody who knows anything about metrology, watching me try and fail to correctly use one. Use the dial test indicator. You'll be either screaming or laughing, crying, watching me. Okay, so please sign up. Please consider signing up for the Patreon or whatever mechanism I used for the subscriber only halves of the videos to see the rest. It's pretty funny coming up, and you can see 0.6 something, 0.5. That one's 0.57. All right. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, handshake, high five, finger snaps, whatever to engage with the video, to tell the people running the video platforms that this is an interesting content and they should consider showing to other people. All right. I'll catch you next episode. If you're not subscribed, I'll catch you next episode. If you're a subscriber, see you in a second here. I'm going to stop recording this and start recording over the other video. Take care. Good luck.